Hello crafty friends, this is Lee back with another Vicki Boutin design team project, and this time we're using a sketch for February of 2019. You see that I'm using the Post-it craft paper, so this is sticky back, full sheet sticky back Post-it note. Oh, and I mean, you got something sticky out, so now is the perfect time for baby kitty to join the party, right? Cats, gotta love them. That's multitasking. Hashtag mom life right there. Pet mom anyway. So here what I decided to do, I spread the Vicki Boutin white gesso in through the stencil, through the heart cutouts, and now I'm just adding with a stylus some extra white gesso so that it fills in the heart shape and you can more readily discern that it's a heart shape. So I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to run and clean off my stencil really fast off camera. I think I cut that out, but maybe not. Maybe I just disappear. We'll see. Yeah, looks like I just disappear. So at least I'm washing the stencil off, right? So I'm going to use a heat gun and heat this up a little bit, not too much because the gesso will bubble. So I'm breaking out the heat gun right now here. And I'm just going to mash, after I heat it a little tiny bit, you saw me use my hand, I'm just going to mash down those dots so they don't have like a mountain peak on the top and look like a little bit of frosting. So I'm using the brand new Color Kaleidoscope Vicki Boutin watercolor markers, and I'm just mashing, seeing if that gesso is dry, because I really want the gesso to be dry before I start adding any of the mixed media on top of it, and it's dry. So I'm going to use this negative space from a previous cutout of the heart shape so that I can do my watercolor marbling technique. So I use these markers and water from a water brush. So I'm getting the color out of the Vicki Boutin water brush first and laying down clean water in the heart shape. Now I'm going to use sugared strawberry, and like I did before on my watercolor marker marbling technique, I'm just adding dots and swirls of the colors that I want to create a sort of marbled heart. And then I do another one freehand. It turns out okay. See how I'm swirling the watercolor marker just to create that marbled effect. So I'll do that to two of those because this dark color is repeated in the photo. So I'm just filling in with the watercolor marker direct to paper, and I'm thinking I'm going to use that Amy Tangerine photo of me and her at Creativation. Instead, I'm going to use the water brush here and kind of add some water to that acrylic block and then splatter. Use the watercolor marker to splatter and get some ink spots. I'm just adding water directly from the brush to lighten that color because I thought it was a little too harsh. So I'm just adding the water and then dabbing off to lighten it a little bit. So now I got the idea to take the other color, I think it is cotton candy, and I added water to the acrylic block and a dot of the marker, and now I'm coloring in where I gessoed those hearts through the Vicki Boutin stencil, just to make them stand out and make you be able to notice that they're hearts. So I like that there's two different shades of the pink here. Now I'm deciding I want to add, and this is another Color Kaleidoscope pattern paper. So I'm just cutting out the sections that I want from this pattern paper sheet. I really like the notebook paper look, and I'm going to create a tag to go behind the photo and create lots of layers to go with the sketch. So here's another 3x4 piece of the pattern paper that I cut out, and I'm using the We Are Memory Keepers hole reinforcer punch and the We Are Memory Keepers angled crocodile to make the tag shapes. So I punched the hole, and now I'm kind of folding up the edges just to give it some more dimension and have it come off the page. I just find it more interesting when this is a nice clean and simple design in the sketch, so I find that it needs a lot of dimension in that aspect when it's a clean and simple design. So I'm deciding, here are the die cut pack. It's the die cut pack from the Color Kaleidoscope line. And I'm just trying out the different die cuts, seeing which ones I want. I've already picked out those two organic leaf shapes from the die cut pack, and I've laid them up there with the tag because I definitely want to use those. Now I've decided to use the pink from the cut apart, and I'm using the back side is black, so I'm using that as the whole reinforcer pattern. This is a new, we just got this in our American Crafts Design Team box. It's the Sticky Thumb Express Glue that's really quick to bond. It says it bonds in 10 seconds, so I really like that for little tiny dainty spots that you need a little dab of glue. So I'm just going to take some leftover crochet thread that was on my desk and tie it into those tag holes there, just so that you can readily tell that this is a tag. I believe there's a tag on the sketch. And if you guys want to see the sketch, you can head to Vicki Boutin's blog or the Mixed Media community on Facebook. She has the sketches there. So right now Vicki's on her cruise and crop, so the design team is using the sketch this week to feature. And I have the box of Color Kaleidoscope, the brand new product line that just debuted at Creativation this January. So what I'm using with that black and white die cut for is to just ground that section. And so I'm going to use the stickers from the layering sticker pack in the Color Kaleidoscope collection, and I'm adding these on with foam dots because once again I want to add lots of dimension to this since there's not that much going on visibly on the page. So I'm just cutting the foam dot to fit behind that layering sticker, the hot pink heart or magenta colored heart. And I'm going to take the green one because I feel like I need a third spot of green. So this is going to be a really light-hearted, simple layout, just about what I'm loving right now, which is Rae Dunn mugs and black and white containered potted plants. So I'm backing that sticker with foam, craft foam, so that it will stand up off the page again and give more dimension. I'm trying to decide which other hearts I want to add to the page. So I like the fact that there's the background hearts, there's the marker, watercolor marbled marker hearts, and then there's also the hearts on top of the photo. So it kind of just has many layers of hearts to give some interest to the layout. So I like that arrow. It's going to eventually point to the title. And I'm using lots of American Crafts foam dots here just to lift each of the tags and each of the layers up off of the background. I'm using the Sticky Thumb adhesive from American Crafts and sticking down wherever I don't have a foam dot there. I'm putting foam dots under that arrow so that that will stick up off the background. I'm deciding I wanted to add some gold sequins just because there's gold in the photo on the plants, the pots. And then I'm adding the new thickers. I believe this one's called Joyous, this new pack of thickers. This was also in my American Crafts Design Team box. So I'm adding the gold sequins and the gold heart from the thickers, kind of in a diagonal from the top right down to the bottom left. You'll notice there's some splatters on the background too. I just also used the watered down watercolor marker and a water brush, just flick those on the page. And here I'm going to bend up that die cut and fold that in half, and then I'm only going to adhere the foam down to the center portion there. Okay, well, that was a quick end, right? Thank you so much for joining me, and here's the finished layout with the journaling, and I look forward to seeing what you do with this sketch.